Hi, doing a video today about demands that you do surveys or give up an email address or whatever. Now you can just click no thanks or whatever, but that's not the point. If any of you aren't aware of this, if you run a website out there, under no circumstances do I advise anybody ever give your website any respect for doing this. So I'm going to show you what we do to kill it. Right now Ublock Origin is turned off. We're going to look at the Ublock dashboard. Now within this, I've done two things. Now the website's named hyperlightmountaingear.com. So over here, under hyperlightmountaingear.com, right here, it has #, or hash, div, KL private, and then it says reset CSS, which is the important part, and then the word needs click. Or in my case, I'm going to call it not needing click. Now, one of the things it also does is it gets rid of the scroll bar so we can't scroll the page. Now, I can take advantage of using a JavaScriptlet or bookmarklet to force a JavaScript injection to give me that scroll bar back. But instead of that, we're going to leave it as is, and I'm just going to turn Ublock Origin back on. And before I do that, I'm going to comment out this thing here that I'm going to tell you about. That's the point of this video. I'm going to put in, I think it's exclamation point and then a couple of spaces and hit apply changes. This will turn off the magic hack I accidentally ran into. Someone else came up with this, by the way. Now, when we do this, if I reload it, because I've activated Ublock Origin, it will block that pop-up box and the background because, again, I sat there and puttered around with Ublock Origin and came up with that string. It's an example of how to get rid of that little pop-up. Now you'll notice that the scroll bar just disappeared if you were paying attention, and we can no longer scroll. We can kind of try to scroll. Used to be able to, keyboard works. Websites taking away your ability to navigate the website is a cardinal sin and should be punished. Now how do we punish it? Now I'm going to read this back verbatim for everybody who needs to hear it. The function in all of the pages, because they all keep doing this without editing it, is HTML:style parenthesis overflow space auto space important. What that means is I'm telling it to force the web page's style for HTML being web page, for overflow, meaning the page is bigger up and down or right or left, and force it to auto select whether or not it should have scroll bars. Right now, the website disabled that by using a reset function so that I can't scroll up and down or right to left. But I did something strange here. Now, this is buried inside of the body of the page. That's a function within HTML if you look at the code. And it's under #, body, comma, HTML: style, blah, blah, blah. But in the front, you notice that normally before these two hash marks, you'd have the website. It says every website. Every website will now have this function injected. So I'm going to take out the exclamation point and spaces so that it becomes an active function and hit apply changes. Now I'm going to reload the page, and this will apply that demand through Ublock Origin to every website to turn off its ability to disable the auto enable of the scroll bar. Now it should work continually. And that flash you just saw was it trying to turn off the scroll bar to punish me for simply not acknowledging its authority over me. Now I want to bring up a subject of dark patterns or other things. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Oh, I can. Good. So we can actually do something here, supposedly. Let's go way to the bottom. And we're going to highlight this. And I'm going to zoom in on it until it's all of the screen I can get. That's at the bottom there. Unfortunately, it's just going to have to be the bottom of the page. Right there. So I'm going to talk for a minute. Why would a website take away your scroll bars, put up a screen, demand that you give an email address, even though you can opt out of it? Why would it do this? Well, it's called friction, resistance. It's a way of not so subtly kind of bullying you into doing something you obviously don't want to do. Websites have the ability to do this because anything that can run code can do so. Is this necessarily bad? Under some conditions, no. If you're on a bank and the website says you're on a banking site, behave like you're dealing with, something important, I understand it. But the point is, most websites use these behaviors to just bitch slap all of us. By disabling its ability to change the overflow function by applying it to every freaking website, it forces automatically that we should have these features in it. And enabling them makes it to where we have power over it, because the website is actively trying to disable us. I'm going to switch this to actual size because this is annoying. But I'm going to include this down below in the description, and I'm going to include it on screen as the thumbnail. And again, this being YouTube, you're going to see this on probably, it's going to complain about me typing something that looks like code. That's acceptable. But it shouldn't do things like refuse to let us use the website or refuse to let us access our email accounts. Any behavior that's done to provide a little bit of friction and resistance like that is not acceptable. Now I'm going to pause the video real quick and we're going to go to the next part. Now you should be watching me on the Wikipedia page, and you may have noticed it now has two scroll bars. This is a side effect because Wikipedia, even though I'm using the user scan equals vector old school version of it or the new one, it not being able to reset the scroll bars breaks it because Wikipedia isn't a normal website. This website is essentially a copy of a website editor, dynamic editor. So it has a bunch of stuff it's hiding within sub pages. So this is one of the pages where I know I don't need to force it to have a scroll bar because now it has two. This is a side effect of it. Yes, I know, and it's annoying. So we go into Ublock origin. We hit this button that says click to disable cosmetic filtering on the site. Don't do this on a site that could do any other attack, because a lot of the attacks are defined as cosmetic functions. We hit that, and then I hit the click to make the changes permanent so that it will turn off literally the one feature again, which was the scroll bar being forced as a hack. Now will work the way it's supposed to, but I have to make it change permanent. And then when I reload it, it will load correctly. This is a side effect because a lot of sites do this for various reasons. Also, a site that isn't trying to turn off the scroll bar might end up with an extra one, or in one page, 5, because the website did things within a style sheet and it used a pseudo sub-level that was based on scroll bars being misused. Okay, so yeah, this is not perfect. The functionality and utility of this thing here, it's a hack that I'm applying to every website blanket because I'm tired of having to do this on individual sites. I could just go hyper light mountain gear and just do that and it would turn off the thing for that site. I'm not going to. I want this to never be able to do it, but that means it's going to add extra scroll bars to some websites. If I visit them on a regular basis, I turn it off by, again, Ublock origin, turn off the cosmetic filtering on that site so it doesn't affect it. Only do this on sites you trust, and then you hit the padlock icon up there. All of this is done through Ublock origin. Okay? Or, and this is going to be the rant, or websites could stop being inshitifying and stop taking away scroll bars and stop putting up forced interactions we don't want. This is another site here, emergencyzone.com, which I'm not recommending. I was reading through them and I had to block a bunch of stuff here so I could read how bad the pricing is. No, really, they need to do better. But this one had a pop-up screen and demanded an email address, and then when I said no, it turned off the scroll bars and basically sat there and pouted. The websites doing this are fighting back against all of us doing something that even Google would appreciate and approve of, because Google loves this shit, right? Okay, fine. The point is, you hijacked the behavior of my computer and my web browser. I'm going to fight back because I have a right to. Get your goddamn code out of my face. And yes, if I go here and turn it off. We'll do that, and we'll reload it. And I don't care if the scroll bars are broken on this site. I'm blocking it because because on principle I'm blocking their bullshit. When we scroll down, it does something stupid, and I think it takes away the scroll bar as well. Let's click a dead spot, find a dead spot, and see if it does it. It may or may not do it. It might actually behave itself. Nope, there it is. And again, it's also taken away the scroll bar. So I turn this back on. Excuse me, wrong button. I turn uBlock Origin right back on, reload the page, and it goes away. And on this site, again, I don't care if it takes away my scroll bar, but fine. And if it creates 2 scroll bars, again, I don't care. I'm not going to bother with changing the filtering on here. But on Wikipedia, I needed to. So that's your magic bit there, but there's a caveat. It'll make websites have extra scroll bars and fuck things up. So you'll have to know that, again, in uBlock Origin, you have to turn off the cosmetic filtering for the site, and then you have to hit the padlock button up here if it's messing up a site heavily. But only do it on a site that isn't attacking you by taking away your scroll bars or putting up pop-ups. Okay, I hope this has been useful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And again, if you want your scroll bars back, this is the only way I found that works, and it's worked beautifully for the last 24 hours. But that's because they keep using the same format for altering it to where we do not have our scroll bars. And again, why did web browsers come with the ability to turn off your scroll bars? Again, some websites do it so they can do some weird trick because it's the only way to make the website work. That's okay, I understand that, like Wikipedia does. But again, this should have never been used abusively like this. And I'm really getting tired of corporations like even Mozilla Foundation and definitely Google allowing this shit to be done to us. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll need it.